I think when you're looking at online learning or organizations, or why online learning versus face-to-face learning, and it's not really that one is better or worse. In fact, I like to think of it in terms of affordances and limitations. Online learning has some benefits and it has some drawbacks. Face-to-face learning has some benefits and it has some drawbacks. And so it takes some time for people to kind of dig in and to understand what those benefits and limitations are. Let me give you a few for online. Some may be obvious to you, some maybe not so obvious, but one of them has to do with this concept of time. So learning that gives you some flexibility on when you do your work and how you do your work. Imagine that you have a conversation with your classmates and you're supposed to meet in a face-to-face class, a traditional class, and you do the reading in advance and you come and there's going to be this really rich discussion. And so you gather and you're really busy and some things at work made it difficult for you to get your reading done. You come into class and you feel kind of foolish because everyone else has done their reading, or so it seems, and they're talking and they're having this discussion. You feel a little out of it because you weren't able to kind of dig in, right? Well, in online learning, it's a little bit different because most of the classes, the way that we run them here at Concordia, there's flexibility on when you do your reading. You do have it, oftentimes there are due dates within a given week or a certain time frame, but some people might do it early on, some might need a little bit later, and so you have some flexibility in time that can allow you to actually reach higher levels of excellence in your coursework because you have that flexibility. Another one has to do with flexibility of space and of location. And this one is kind of neat. I remember when people used to think about teaching online, there was a phrase called teach from the beach online, right? Because really, if you were at a resort or a hotel and there was a beach and you had Wi-Fi out there, you could be sitting on a chair reclining with your beverage in hand and your laptop in the other, and you could be teaching in an online course. And the same thing is actually true for students. And a lot of people have lives that require them to move around a lot, and some people have jobs in business where they're traveling back and forth, or maybe they live in a place where they're not really close to a university or it's a long drive or something like that. Well, online learning gives you that capacity. You have the benefit of getting the learning experience and still having flexibility of space. And another benefit, I think, and this is one that people don't even realize, is online learning has this really wonderful way of kind of leveling the playing field. Like when you're interacting with other classmates, you've probably been in a face-to-face class where there's that one outspoken person, and that can certainly happen online, but it tends to be more that everyone has a voice and everyone can speak, and you can actually read someone's comments or the professor's comments, and instead of having to respond in that instant, in that moment, you can stop and you can reflect and think about it, and you can maybe craft a draft response and look at it and maybe sleep on it before you send it the next day. So it allows you to give your best thoughts and put your best foot forward when you're interacting with the professor or with your classmates. That kind of refining allows you to really refine your thinking too, because writing is really just kind of thinking with your fingers. And the more you do that, the more you get clarity of thought and you develop a clearer sense of ideas. There are so many different benefits to online learning. Those are some of the affordances. Like I said, there are limitations, there are affordances. It's really a matter of figuring out what's the best fit for you.